女士们、先生们，欢迎来到上海体育馆，观看2024世界斯诺克上海大师赛。本单元的比赛将于晚上7点30分正式开始，敬请期待。
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Shanghai Indoor Stadium for Shanghai Masters 2024. This session will start at 7:30 p.m. Please stay tuned.
各位观众，上海体育馆为无烟场馆，请不要在场馆内吸烟。
Ladies and gentlemen, Shanghai Indoor Stadium is a non-smoking property. Smoking is not allowed in the venue.
请您在比赛过程中保持安静，感谢您的合作。
Please be quiet during the competition. Thank you for your cooperation.
请您在拍照时关闭闪光灯，并将手机全程保持静音模式，以免影响运动员比赛。感谢您的合作。
To avoid distracting the players during the competition, you must turn off your camera flash when taking photos and turn your cell phone to silent mode. Thank you for your support and cooperation.
请您持票进入看台区域，对号入座，感谢您的配合。
Ladies and gentlemen, please enter the grandstand area with a valid ticket and take your assigned seat. Thank you for your cooperation.
A little bit of misfit dancer, a little bit of JoJo dancer, a little bit of thoughts of mine coming out the mind of this midnight rambler. I can't wait till these tunes of mine get me out of this local jam. Get up on that big stage now, show the world just who the heck I am.
比赛马上要开始了，请大家再次检查一下手机，调成静音。在场观众请把手机放起来，谢谢。Thank you, frame 10. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
So Ronnie O'Sullivan resumes 8-1 down to Judd Trump in the second semi-final here at the Shanghai Masters. Trump, therefore, needs just 2 frames for victory. He got on an incredible run early in the match. He had breaks of 126, 128, 127, 82, 71, 91. Sensational, really. And already pots the first long red. Stephen Allworth alongside me. I think that's what was impressive, Stephen, the fact that he kept on going. We saw yesterday, didn't we, Mark Selby didn't put away that last frame of the session to lead 7-2 against Murphy, and ultimately it cost him.
Yeah, absolutely right, Dave. That frame yesterday at the end of that session for Mark Selby was, well, it turned out to be huge, didn't it? We sort of thought it may have played a part, and Murphy came out all guns blazing, and we all know the result from there. Judd looked extremely clinical this afternoon. As you say, his scoring was just relentless. Possibly one of the best performances I've seen from Judd for a while. And we all know how good his season was last year, so that says something.
Thirteen.
I'd like to just extend my personal condolences to all of Ray's family and friends.
14.
Massive loss to the sport. A complete legend. Such sad, tragic news today.
Yes, the modern players are standing on the shoulders of giants, the original professionals who helped make the game so popular for television audiences. Ray Reardon was the first winner of Pot Black. That was the programme on the BBC that really started it all. And those players understood they had to be personalities. They had to show that to the viewing public who were maybe seeing snooker for the first time. Well, Judd Trump trying to sort of manufacture an angle into them, and the wrong ball's gone in. The pink went in, not the blue.
Wow, goodness me, look at the blue. Hits the back of the leather here and stays out.
From 14, Ronnie O'Sullivan 6.
That is so unusual nowadays. We used to see that quite a bit years ago. I haven't seen that for a long time.
Well, O'Sullivan needs anything like that to go his way. In the end, the blue staying out didn't make any difference because the pink went in. But he's got to try and turn it on here. We know he's capable of reeling frames off in the way that Trump did, but already here, these reds all covering one another.
Judd really was magnificent earlier, wasn't he? You know, I think Ronnie hasn't played all that great this week, and really sort of even like the end of last season, he wasn't playing to kind of the level that we've seen from Ronnie, and it was almost like we were just waiting for someone to stand up to him. Of course, Stuart Bingham did that in the quarterfinals at the World Championships in Sheffield, and no one has managed to do it this week so far to Ronnie, but Judd did today. The odd mistake that Ronnie made, Judd pounced, and he's put him under it massively. This will be one special performance for Ronnie to come back and turn this one around.
Well, Trump not able to get in there. The match it's kind of reminded me of, it was the 2005 Grand Prix final where John Higgins beat him 9-2, and he had 4 centuries in a row that day. Higgins just completely played his best, didn't let O'Sullivan really see anything. But he could see that one, and he's knocked it in. It doesn't happen very often in a long match that he would be completely outplayed. He has been so far, but the match isn't over yet.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 1. I
do think, though, sometimes with these two-session matches or even longer matches, there's just that sort of feeling of inevitability at this stage. We could talk about comebacks, but how often would you win from 8-1 down in a best-of-19? It's virtually unheard of.
Yeah, and you'd pretty much have to rely on a complete collapse from Judd Trump, and that just simply isn't going to happen. He's a proper winner now, isn't he, Judd? He's always smelling blood out there. He just wants to get the job done as quick as possible. He'll stay extremely focused throughout the remainder of this match. Because I suppose if there is one player on the planet that can produce a bit of magic from this sort of deficit, you'd probably say it would be Ronnie O'Sullivan. But even this seems a stretch too far.
16.
The scoring's been good all week, really. We mentioned right at the beginning of the week that the conditions looked really nice, and that sort of encourages heavy scoring. These two semi-finals, we've seen a plethora of big breaks.
17.
It kind of just tees it up nicely if Judd can get the job done to take on Shaun Murphy tomorrow. They've both been absolutely excellent in the two semi-finals.
Yeah, he knew he couldn't avoid counting that other red there. Wasn't quite sure where he was going to be left on the next ball, the black.
Trump, 17.
One of those, I suspect, if it was 5 each, he might not have played that.
One.
May have come up a little low on this red to stay on the black, so up for blue.
9.
Needs an angle, and he's got it. So the red just to the left of the 4 will pass to right corner. He can just drop on that here. That then opens up the red near the pink spot. Really, Ronnie just has to win this mini session 4-0. He's got no wiggle room whatsoever.
Of
course, he's won the Shanghai Masters for the past 4 years.
23.
5-time champion in total. He surely won't want to see his trophy handed over. He'll still fight for it. It's become a bit of the Ronnie O'Sullivan show in recent years, hasn't it? But today has been all about Judd Trump.
31.
Trump played a big shot, that black. Always going to be leaving the next red on. Looks costly.
38. 39. 46. 47.
Brilliant positional shot that from Ronnie.
51.
Plenty of screw a trace aside. Bit of an exhibition shot, really.
53. 56.
Well, he's won, Sullivan, this is his last 21 matches in this tournament. He really has been the man here. Hasn't lost since 2016 in Shanghai.
60.
If he can just produce a spell of sustained brilliance, can he summon it up from somewhere? If he can, not saying he'll win, but he'd certainly make it
65.
closer. He'll put a bit of pressure on, maybe. Needed a few chances in this frame, but has made the most of this one.
71.
71 from Ronnie O'Sullivan, but he's still deep in trouble with Trump remaining 2 from victory, leading 8-2. Well, Judd Trump's still sitting pretty here. He had a couple of
Frame
chances
11.
there.
Judd
Ronnie
Trump
O'Sullivan
to
won
break.
the frame, but 8-2 is a handsome lead.
We're trying to look and find angles to make a case for a Ronnie comeback here. You know, it's obviously highly unlikely down to the scoreline, but I suppose Ronnie has maybe resigned himself to the fact that he feels he may have already lost this match, so that in itself could potentially just free up the arm. But of course, Judd will know that. He won't be careless enough to let that one slide. He'll be trying to get the job done as quick as possible. Try and stay focused.
1.
So good at charging over the winning line.
Yeah, it's all about just maintaining focus. It's not always easy, strange as it seems, being so far in front, but you have to do it. One thing I will say, though, is if he does win handsomely today, it won't mean anything to Trump if he doesn't win the tournament. A win over Ronnie O'Sullivan, always, you know, satisfying, but he's here to win the
7.
trophy. Sean Murphy, of course, we know how well he's playing. So the minute this match is done, it'll all be about tomorrow.
Yeah, and I suppose just looking ahead tomorrow as well, Murphy's obviously had the day off today, able to just relax and just hit a few balls on the practice table, try and get himself in the best possible position. This game could have gone the distance, it may still do. But if Judd can win this game quickly, it almost feels like a energy conservation from Judd Trump, able to keep a little bit in the tank, get an early night tonight. That could make the difference tomorrow.
Well, that cue ball, he's looking at it as if it's bounced a bit. It's travelled on a bit further than he wanted it to.
I'm sure Sean would love to see this match go all the way. Let them both sweat it out while he's sat with a cup of tea
21.
in the hotel room.
Yeah, and the fans here, as I say, it's nothing against Trump. They love Trump, but if you paid your money, you want to see a match. They'd love to see a comeback.
$28. $29.
Yeah, nice recovery from Judd. He's got the perfect angle on this black to go into the reds if he wants to. Just trying to work out the cannon that he'd like. Probably try and screw through them, draw one out with it. Didn't quite catch the red as intended. Wanted plenty of backspin on that, drag a red out of that pack with him.
36.
The thing is, he doesn't have to force things. You know, he took that black on in the last frame, leaving a red if he missed it. He doesn't have to. It's not a race to get to 10 as quickly as you can. The one thing he mustn't do is start leaving easy chances, because that would be some sort of route back for O'Sullivan.
Judd Trump, 36.
Yeah, he's just got to remain patient, hasn't he, Judd Trump? Now, I'm sure he'd love to hit the winning line with a couple of big breaks, as all the top players do. But it really is just about getting the job done now. All the bulk of the work was done this afternoon. This only their second meeting in China as well. First was won by Ronnie back in 2017 in this event, final of the Shanghai Masters. So this will feel like, I suppose, obviously it's a massive result for Judd if he can go on to win this game, but maybe made that a little bit sweeter by the fact he's pretty much beat Ronnie at in his own backyard almost. This event has been very much about him over the past few years. This has been a fabulous day for Judd Trump so far, but as you say, it will be all about tomorrow should he come through this game. This will mean absolutely nothing if he doesn't leave with this trophy.
Well, maybe an opening here for O'Sullivan, 36 down. Plenty to go at if he can just knock this first red in.
One.
And you can hear the big cheer from his supporters, as I say. They want to see something happen here in the way of a comeback.
8. Nine.
And this now a brilliant chance for Ronnie. Pretty much all the reds are in open play, bar the one to the right of the table. Similar to the first
15.
frame, Judd in first. Not able to kill the frame off quickly, so Ronnie now with a chance to at least get back into this frame. Ronnie, I suppose, as well, is hoping for mistakes from Judd.
20.
He's got to rely a little bit on Judd making the odd error. But then,
21.
should that error come around, it's up to Ronnie to pick up the pieces. He missed a few sitters earlier on. There was a black in one of the frames that he was right behind, and a shot that is pretty much unmissable
26.
for any professional player.
27.
Just can't afford that type of mistake against someone like Judd, particularly in this kind of form. He's just got to try and mind his work, Ronnie.
The
weird thing
35.
is, it feels like the pressure's on Trump. Now, you'd think 8-2 down at the opposite, but O'Sullivan would not be thinking he's going to win at the moment. So he's just sort of potting balls. Trump here has had chances in both frames to have won this match already.
42.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The psychology of this
43.
match now is what you just said. The Judd is feeling the pressure for sure. He's 8-2 up, and you may be thinking, well, there's no pressure to get over the line. He's miles ahead, but Judd will probably have in the back of the mind, oh, don't lose this match from here, kind of thing. And Ronnie, with no pressure on his shoulders, he's just there to, well, I suppose try and ruin Judd's day.
50.
Just get back into the match and keep him under it for as long as possible.
51.
Because, again, I'll say that Ronnie has pretty much resigned himself to the fact that he's out of this event. And that in itself can just free you up.
Oh, hang on. Is he on this? It's very tight, I think. Well,
58. 59.
still going to need the red here.
Great attempt to try and get the red out. Had to force that pink in to try and create a little bit more angle than he actually had. It was a good attempt. There you see 29 points ahead, still 35 remaining, so that red was frame ball, but it stayed out.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 65.
Well, he missed a red to that pocket early in the match, and it turned the match actually against him.
One.
So Judd Trump with the chance to make a big steal here and get himself to 9, and when he gets to 9, obviously then he's looking for one more chance to get the whole thing won.
It was a tough pot, that red, with the rest. Was quite thin. Now Judd needs an angle on this yellow. He looks to have hit it absolutely perfect, the blue.
6.
He can pretty much put his cue ball where he wants now.
8.
Yeah, he's just about got there. So this now probably the key shot to winning this frame.
15.
Well, he is on the blue, probably not as intended, but he looks about perfect. Just a slight angle on this blue to just stun over for the pink. Oh, but he's overcut it. Well, I expected that one to drop, and it's just caught the near jaw, as did the red that Ronnie missed.
好了，谢谢。5.
Well, I didn't see that coming.
Well, that is interesting. And OK, 8-3, still a great lead, but that has got to hurt Judd Trump. And got to make him think a little bit. As I say, this match could have been over by now. It certainly should have been 9-2, but Ronnie O'Sullivan delighted to step in, pop the blue, win the frame. 8-3, Trump still needs 2. Well, you just never know in this game, do you? We've seen it happen before, not very often from this situation, but the comebacks that we've seen echo down the decades, don't they? I mean, Mike Hallett was 8-2 up on Stephen Hendry in the Masters, 91, so it's 33 years ago, lost 9-8. We still dredge it up in these scenarios. So it's 8-3. What a dramatic start to an evening that looked like it would peter out. With Trump 8-1 up as they resumed. Had a golden chance for 9-2 there to make the clearance after O'Sullivan missed the last red with the rest. Missed the blue. So Ronnie O'Sullivan's won the first 2. He's still in trouble, but I guess the next thing is get this to the interval and then just make Trump think about things during that 15 minutes. But if he could be 8-5 at the interval, then suddenly the pressure comes on.
And of course we've got a packed house again here at the Shanghai Indoor Stadium, so they're living and breathing every shot out there in the arena. That blue that Judd just missed to the corner, the reaction from the crowd, the atmosphere, all that adds to just increasing the tension slightly for Judd. The adrenaline would have been pumping when he'd missed that blue. His heart would probably have been in his mouth, but steadied himself nicely throughout that little mini break as the referee was just re-racking the frame. Straight away knocks in a wonderful long red. That's what the best players are able to do. They're able to just brush off the disappointment of the previous frame very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, overall he's played brilliantly today. And also here in China, I mean, Ronnie O'Sullivan won this event last year, but then there were 3 ranking events and Trump won 2 of them. The new Wuhan Open and the World Open as well. But this Shanghai Masters, he's been in 3 finals yet to win it, so it's definitely very high up his list of tournaments he wants to tick off.
Another superb positional shot there from Judd Trump. 3 cushions round for the red.
29.
So he's got one red at the back of the pack that will pot to left corner. Probably look to play on that now. Or there is one to right corner that he can leave himself high on to potentially bring more reds into play. He's got a couple of options. Yeah, so leaving himself on this red here. Just wonder if he can get enough screw on this to get into the reds and back out. Does have the option to play through and hold for black. Played it with pace. He's okay.
15.
Feels like a big visit, this. You know, if he slips up, offers the chance again, that man ready to pounce, 8-4, it becomes uncomfortable.
Big area to play in here, twice across, couple of reds available to left corner. He's been quite fortunate that that cue ball just carried on.
19.
A little bit less pace and he may have stuck to that red.
I
remember years ago, Stephen, I was at the World final qualifying round, and Nick Walker was playing Rod Lawler. He went 9-0 up after the first session, so needs one more to win and reach the Crucible for the first time. And you can imagine in those hours in between, his friends and family, you know, when you're playing, can we get tickets, all of that stuff that you don't want in your
27.
head. Come back out, 9-1, 9-2, 9-4 at the interval. OK, well, still a great lead. 9-5. It went 9-8. It went 9-8. Rod came back and Nick got it won 10-8. And obviously he was delighted to get through, but he didn't look like a man who won a match. So that's not the sort of anxiety you want, basically, is what I'm saying, when you've had a big lead.
I bet it looked like he was about to keel over.
35.
Yeah, it's horrible because, OK, you may have chances and the odd mistake may creep in, but you are relying on your opponent to some degree
36.
as well. And if they just come out absolutely flying, as Judd did this afternoon, Ronnie's quite capable of doing that too, Judd. And then it's kind of out of your hands a little bit. And then it all just becomes very anxious. But this has been a good response so far in this frame from Judd Trump. Got in straight away with a good long red. He's kept control of things up to now.
$42. $43.
So unless there's any plants, which there may be one to right middle, Judd's had a look at it a couple of times. If he can play on it and get it, it will open up another 2 reds. So this could be pretty much frame ball if he gets this plant.
50.
They must be pretty close to being dead set. Well, he got the plant, nicely done. Now, unless a red passes to right corner right through the middle of these reds, he'll have to go into them. It wasn't as dead set, that plant, as I first thought. He had to make that. He's played that very nicely. That was a great shot from Judd. Now, just a delicate little cannon into the reds. Well, there is one that goes. He needs that cue ball to run. The one just below and to the left of the pink will pass to right corner, obviously. Well, he's willing that cue ball to pull up, and it just keeps rolling. I think he's just about held up.
Yeah, just needs to get on one of these reds and pop this, obviously. And it should be 9-3. Good response after failing to put away that last frame, missing the blue, clearing up. This is more in keeping with how he played in the first session, where all the damage was done.
61.
So this is frame ball. And the
62.
ship has been duly steadied by Judd Trump. And now, of course, he has a chance for a 4th century. Shaun Murphy made 4 yesterday. That was actually a record in this tournament for a single match by one player.
69.
It's building up to being a memorable Sunday
70.
between 2 informed players.
This has been a really well-crafted break from Judd Trump. He's controlled that cue ball
77.
so well throughout. He's had a number of questions to answer.
78.
I suppose he's taken the scenic route throughout, but he's just kept going. He's worked it out really well.
Yeah, you're always, as an observer, looking for clues that a player might be feeling pressure, and I guess you could have picked some up in the first couple of frames, the blue certainly, but none in this frame. He's seeing the winning line ahead of him, and he's making a dash for it.
$93.
O'Sullivan watching on, he needs help, doesn't he? He needs Trump to make mistakes, but in fact, this black is for his 4th century of the semi-final. And he's getting closer now to 1,000 for his career, 987.
101. 103.
Takes a special kind of player to put a performance in like this against one of the game's greats, if not the greatest.
106.
And Judd is a special, special player. Great to see him producing this kind of form in such a big event for this wonderful crowd. They absolutely love him out here.
$110. Century number 4 of the match from Judd Trump. A very timely one after O'Sullivan won the first 2 of the night. So now Trump is 1 away from a meeting with Shaun Murphy in the Shanghai Masters final. He leads 9-3. Just thinking on the centuries, of course, John Higgins is on 998. If Trump were to make a few tomorrow, he could possibly still get to 1,000 before him. They're both going to be involved in some qualifying next week in Leicester. But he's suddenly catching him up. So Ronnie O'Sullivan waits for frame 13 of this semi-final. Will it be the last frame? He's been outplayed today.
Frame 13.
Judd Trump's just made his 4th century. One more frame required. Oh dear.
Chose to try and play the thicker safety there, get the cue ball round the angles, potentially open a few reds. Caught it a little bit too thick, so this red is available for Judd to the green bag. And of course he knocks it in.
First chance then for Trump to get this one. He doesn't want the bother of the interval, does he? That's the other thing, that's just hanging around for no point.
Seven.
Five tournament wins last season for the Juddernaut. Fantastic campaign. Although we've already mentioned and referred to his World
13.
Championship attempt, losing to Jack Jones, wasn't probably the end of the season that he would have liked after such a dominant season.
14.
Chose not to play in the first event this year, the Championship League Snooker in Leicester. Decided to just keep himself away from the table, probably just recharge the batteries fully. And so far that's looking like the right decision, because he's looking very refreshed.
19.
And as all great players do, he's played his way into this event. He's got gradually better as it's gone on. Well, he's potted the red, but he needs an angle on this blue.
20.
A little bit close to the side cushion than he would have liked. Now, can he get into these reds? He's going the 2 cushion route. There's not a lot of pace on that cue ball, but my goodness me, he's done so well there to even have a shot at the reds.
25.
When it's not your day, you stick at the back of the pack there. But when you're hitting it sweet like Judd is, you almost expect to be on a red.
$26.
Well, as I say, it's not a rush to get to 10. It's important not to leave any doors open for O'Sullivan.
Jack Trump, 26. Foul.
Well, he still got a reasonable cue ball. The yellow going in, obviously, is 4 points away.
Jack Trump, 4.
Well, he's in a real dilemma as well now, because Judd doesn't necessarily want to take this red on to middle, but if he puts Ronnie back in, he probably will. Well, this is quite good to see Ronnie choosing to play the correct shot. That red a step too far to left middle. Although he's not got a good cue ball. Just fancied Ronnie getting down and knocking that red into middle because of the scoreline. Just trying to make something happen. He's certainly left reds potable for Judd. All of them look quite high tariff though.
One good pot is probably end a match. And there it is. Well, that sums up how he's played today. He's been superb, Judd Trump. It'll be a satisfying win. He's lost the last 5 against O'Sullivan, if he can come through here. But then it's move on to the final, because he, of course, is here to win this tournament.
6.
Yeah, he had a good break, as you were saying, between seasons, and did some travelling, just, you know, put the cue down and thought about other things. Because believe it or not, there are other things in the world other than snooker.
Is there?
But when you get back to it, of course, you want to be absolutely focused on what you're doing, and it's a good balance to have. If you're at the top of the game, you're earning a lot of money, you can do that, of course. You can sit the odd tournament out. O'Sullivan does it himself.
12.
Yeah, and it's hard, unless you're at the top of the game, to really understand and appreciate the toll it takes on you. These guys are getting to the latter stages, going deep in pretty much every event. You look at Judd's season, 5 wins, 3 runners-up, 3 semis, 5 quarter-finals last year. Pretty much every time he got his cue out, he was at events for a long period of time, and it can just have an impact on you come the end of the year. You know, I'm not a believer in this burnout that players talk about. I don't think that really exists. You know, we all want to play snooker, and we will play regardless, but
19.
Just mentally, it's good to have a little bit of a break. Judd's looking so good, though, as did Shaun Murphy yesterday. Both of them, the star boys in this event so far this week. And what a final we've got tomorrow. The 2 best players, without a doubt,
24.
taking each other on to lift the big one. £210,000 for the winner and the trophy.
$25.
Yeah, it's going to be a Super Sunday here in Shanghai. So just a slight stumble early in the session, but that was all put to one side when he made the century, his 4th, to lead 9-3. And this now is match ball for Judd Trump,
31.
who is going to be through to a 4th Shanghai Masters final, looking, though, for his first title here in this great city.
$36.
It's been near perfect snooker for Judd Trump today. I'm sure he'll be really excited for the final tomorrow. If he can produce this kind of form again, it's going to be an incredible day of snooker.
Ronnie O'Sullivan's 21-match unbeaten run in Shanghai has come to an end. Judd Trump with an emphatic 10-3 victory. He did all the damage in the first session. He made a 4th century in the second, and he will take on Shaun Murphy for the title on Sunday. Yeah, it promises to be a very exciting day, but of course we've had some very sad news, and I'm sure Ronnie O'Sullivan is aware of it as well. Of course, he worked so closely with Ray Reardon ahead of his successful second world title victory in 2004, and we've heard today that Ray Reardon's passed away at the age of 91. He was world champion 6 times in the 1970s. He was the first world #1. He was the oldest ever ranking event winner at the age of 50. He was still going strong late into his career. Just last year, actually, he made a century break down in Torquay, where he lived nearby and was president of Churston Golf Club. He'd lived a nice life down there, but recently was taken ill and very sadly has passed away. And we're already tributes coming in, as you'd expect, from so many people in the game who were influenced by him. One of the real pioneers, one of the giants of the game, Ray Reardon. And these modern stars have really taken the baton, haven't they? And tomorrow we'll be watching 2 more world champions in action, Judd Trump and Shaun Murphy. That is our lineup for the final of the Shanghai Masters. It's best of 21, so it's first to 11 frames to become champion. 210,000 to the winner. They're both in great form. Let's hope for a close match. I'm sure it'll be an exciting one. Do join us tomorrow across Eurosport and Discovery Plus. But for now, it's goodbye.
就下来集合，快点！现在已经32分了。